Lou Ferrigno's story begins with silence, not the peaceful kind, but the kind that swallows a child whole. At just 3 years old, he lost 80% of his hearing. Kids mocked him, calling him Deaf Louie, smashing his bulky hearing aids for fun. At home, the pain didn't stop. His father, instead of offering comfort, hit him for crying about bullies. Determined never to feel weak again, Lou began building muscle from junkyard scraps. But even success came with scars. For 5 grueling years, he endured Hulk makeup sessions that scorched his skin. He once tore his bicep saving his daughter from a crushing accident. And now, at 71, his wife of 43 years has walked away, accusing him of using his Hulk-like strength to intimidate her. The tragedy of Lou Ferrigno is deeper than anyone imagined. Born in 1951, Lou's life was shaped by pain from the very start. As a toddler, he battled severe ear infections, not the kind that clear up, but the kind that leave lasting damage. By age 3, 75 to 80% of his hearing was gone. But no one noticed until it was too late. His parents only realized something was wrong when they clapped behind him and he didn't flinch. That delay meant Lou lived his earliest years in a world of muffled silence. When the truth came out, doctors gave him hearing aids. But this was the 1950s, they weren't discreet. They were big, boxy, and strapped to his chest like strange machinery. Lou hated them. He once said they made him feel like a Martian freak. They made things louder, not clearer. And with so much missed language development, his speech stood out, and not in a good way. Kids noticed, and they were cruel. They called him Deaf Louie, deaf mute, mocked his voice, and even smashed his hearing aids. Lou was too small, too slow to fight back. So he escaped into comic books. Superman, Spider-Man, and especially the Hulk. Heroes who didn't fit in, but secretly held enormous strength. These stories gave him what real life didn't, hope. But home wasn't a safe haven either. His father, Matthew Ferrigno, a hardened Brooklyn cop, believed in toughness, not tenderness. When Lou came home crying, he didn't get a hug. He got hit. "Don't come home if you can't fight your own battles," his father barked. When Lou's grades dropped because he couldn't lip read from the back of the room, his father locked the basement gym. "No gym until grades improved. My father rejected me because I wasn't perfect," Lou later said. But instead of breaking him, that pain became fuel. He vowed to get so strong no one could ever hurt him again. Lou adapted fast. He sat in the front row to lip read every word. If a teacher turned their back, he was lost, but he didn't give up. He didn't always tell teachers he was deaf, too ashamed. But he became a master observer, reading faces and gestures with laser focus. It was exhausting, but he made it through school on pure determination. Then, everything changed in 1964. Lou was 13 when he saw the movie Hercules, starring Steve Reeves. For Lou, it was like seeing a comic book hero come to life. Reeves was strong, chiseled, larger than life. And Lou had a realization: he didn't just want to read about strength. He wanted to become it. Especially the Hulk, whom he called the Green Santa Claus, powerful, but kind. Lou was hooked. He wanted muscles so no one would ever laugh at him again. But gym memberships were out of reach, his family was broke. So he got creative. He scavenged old cans, filled them with cement, and jammed a broomstick through them to make a barbell. At just 13, Lou was building muscle with junkyard ingenuity. For a bench, he nailed together 2 wooden boxes, tossed on some hinges and a pillow. "It hurt my back," he admitted, "but I tried to imitate everything I saw in magazines." He trained like this for years. By 17, he finally joined a real gym, R&J Health Club. But by then, he'd already crafted a powerful physique with nothing but scrap metal and grit. Still, muscle didn't pay rent. In 1969, Lou took a job at a punishing sheet metal factory in Brooklyn. He was just 17, earning $10 an hour, about $75 in today's money. But it was hell, loud, dangerous, full of machines that could slice off limbs. For someone nearly deaf, it was a death trap. But Lou needed money for food and supplements. While others ate sandwiches, he packed boiled eggs, tuna, and cottage cheese. Then, one day in 1972, everything changed. A co-worker's hand was crushed by a hydraulic press right next to Lou. That moment shook him to his core. Lou Ferrigno walked out of the factory and never looked back. There was no paycheck waiting in bodybuilding, no promise of a future. But Lou took the leap, and it changed everything. In 1973, at just 21, Lou Ferrigno stunned the world. He won both Mr. America and Mr. Universe. No one his age had ever pulled that off before. He stood at 6 feet 5 inches and weighed in around 285 pounds, a giant among bodybuilders. But it wasn't just his size that impressed people. It was the journey he had taken to get there. As a kid, he lost most of his hearing to an ear infection. Bullied and beaten, he turned to weights not just for strength, but for connection, for confidence, for a sense of belonging. Then, he did it again. Just a year later, Lou won Mr. Universe for the second time. In 1975, he set his sights on the ultimate stage, Mr. Olympia. He didn't take the title, but placing third put him among the best in the world. That same year, everything changed again. A film crew began work on a documentary that would redefine bodybuilding forever, Pumping Iron. The movie followed the fierce rivalry between Lou and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Lou had the size, he outweighed Arnold by nearly 50 pounds. But Arnold had the edge where it mattered most. He played psychological games. He invited Lou and his parents to breakfast before the contest. With a confident grin, Arnold told Lou he just needed one more month to be ready, then casually reminded everyone he was a 6-time champion. It was classic mental warfare. Lou later called Arnold arrogant, but the tactic worked. Arnold won his 6th title. Lou placed third. Despite 2 Mr. Universe wins, Lou was broke. Bodybuilding didn't pay. For years, he returned to grueling factory work, earning just $10 an hour in Brooklyn. By 1975, the dream had to take a backseat. Lou was in peak condition, but prize money couldn't keep the lights on. In 1980, he married Carla Green. Between them, they had just $12,000 to $5,000 from Lou, $7,000 from Carla. "We built our money and our home," she once said, from nothing. Lou's physique was legendary. His arms measured 23.5 inches, bigger than Arnold's. He could reportedly deadlift 900 pounds, though no official record confirmed it. Still, his strength was unmistakable. And so was his build. Most tall bodybuilders looked lanky, Lou didn't. He was massive yet proportioned, built with old-school effort. His muscles came from iron, not shortcuts. This was before the steroid era took over. Lou's body was a product of willpower, hunger, and pain. In 1975, just 24 years old, Lou shocked the fitness world again. He walked away. Not because of injury, not because he lost. He just couldn't afford to keep going. Most competitions paid a measly $1,000. Then, in 1977, destiny knocked. The creators of The Incredible Hulk needed someone massive to play the iconic Green Giant. At first, they turned to Arnold. At 6 feet 1 inch, he was ripped, but not tall enough. Then came Richard Kiel, the 7 feet 2 inches actor who played Jaws in the James Bond films. They even started filming with him. But something strange happened. The director's young son visited the set, saw Kiel in costume, and simply said, "That's not the Hulk." Just like that, everything changed. The hunt resumed, for someone who looked like the comic book Hulk, huge, powerful, intimidating. That's when Lou Ferrigno got the call. He was prepping for the 1977 Mr. Olympia when the audition came. He showed up, got painted green, and was told to be the Hulk. Lou growled, flexed, moved like a beast, and landed the role on the spot. He gave up Olympia to take it. That decision rewrote his life, but the hard part was only beginning. Each filming day started with nearly 4 hours in makeup. And it wasn't just paint, it was thick, chalky, industrial-grade green makeup that clung to everything. 6 layers. Then came prosthetics, a fake forehead, nose, and custom teeth. The worst part, the white contact lenses. He could only wear them 15 minutes at a time before they became unbearable. During the pilot, Lou wore full makeup for 20 straight hours. It was so intense, they installed a private shower in his trailer just to wash it off. Even then, the green lingered. His toenails stayed tinted for 6 months. The toll on his body was brutal. In one 1978 scene where the Hulk lifts a car, Lou tore a muscle. On hot days, the makeup caused chemical burns. Filming sometimes happened in temperatures over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. His body weight fluctuated constantly, bulking up for scenes, slimming for interviews. His nutritionist warned it was unsafe. Prosthetics irritated his skin so badly he needed medical treatment between seasons. By 30, Lou said the work had aged his body to 42. Still, Lou gave everything he had. He did 95% of his own stunts, defying CBS's safety policies. He believed no one else could move like the Hulk. And he proved it. In one scene, he ran through a fake wall that hadn't been built properly and injured his back, but kept going. Another time, at 4 a.m., he had to flip a car using wire rigs. He didn't hesitate. The equipment failed. The wires snapped. Lou was exhausted, furious, and still covered in layers of sticky green paint. He shouted, "You think I'm not going to turn that car over?" Then, using nothing but raw strength, he did it. He flipped the car himself. "I think I really became the Hulk that night," Lou said later. That moment cost him a back injury he still feels today. But ask him if it was worth it, and he won't hesitate, no regrets. His greatest battle, though, was invisible. Lou lost most of his hearing when he was just 3 years old. On set, that meant lip reading every single direction. In calm scenes, it worked. But during chaotic action shots, total confusion. Directors couldn't yell, "Cut," so Lou had to guess when a scene ended. Sometimes, his hearing aids would fail mid-shoot. He'd miss vital safety instructions. Eventually, he wore 2 hearing aids just to stay alert. Still, he kept going. And most fans never knew. Even the Hulk's iconic growls and roars. They weren't originally Lou's. At first, it was Ted Cassidy, Lurch from the Addams Family. After Cassidy passed in 1979, Charles Napier took over. But in 2012, for the Avengers, something changed. Lou's voice was finally used. His growls were blended with Mark Ruffalo's. Again, in Age of Ultron, 2015, Lou's sound became the Hulk's roar. That meant Lou Ferrigno had voiced the Hulk for 37 years, longer than anyone in history. But fame didn't come easy. Fans adored the Hulk, not the man inside the makeup. They'd approach him with wide eyes and excitement, yet never use his name. They saw the monster, not the man. That slowly wore on Lou. He once admitted it felt strange to be known for a role where he never even spoke. As a boy, he dreamed of being a superhero. Now he was one, but nobody knew who he really was. Even on set, he was isolated. The makeup was suffocating. He had to hide in an air-conditioned trailer between takes to stay cool. Meanwhile, Bill Bixby and the crew joked and bonded. Lou sat alone, just like the Hulk, always watching from the outside, always misunderstood. In 1983, Lou finally got the chance to become his hero. He'd always idolized Steve Reeves, the original Hercules. Now it was his turn to play the legendary strongman. The movie was called Hercules, but this wasn't ancient Greece. It was filled with lasers, robots, and over-the-top 80s sci-fi. Lou trained harder than ever, calling it the best shape of my life. His muscles looked almost surreal. People said they seemed ready to burst. But when the film hit theaters on August 26, something felt off. Lou's voice was gone. Every line had been dubbed over by another man, Mark Smith. The producers didn't think Lou's voice fit. But to him, that excuse didn't justify erasing him. It was a shame, he later said. That would have made it a classic. What stung more, Arnold Schwarzenegger, his rival, had also been dubbed in Hercules in New York, yet Arnold's career soared. Lou stalled, the film flopped, and Hollywood labeled him a one-note actor. Off-screen, things were even tougher. In 1980, Lou married Carla Green. Together, they had just $12,000 to $7,000 from Carla, $5,000 from Lou. It shocked people. How could the star of a hit series, The Incredible Hulk, 1977 to 1982, have so little? But fame hadn't meant fortune. Before Hollywood, Lou worked in a sheet metal factory, earning $10 an hour. It was dangerous, soul-crushing work. One day, a co-worker lost his hand. Lou quit that same week. But after the Hulk ended, the money vanished. Carla stepped up. She became Lou's manager, booked every event, traveled with him, and rebuilt their life from scratch. "We built our money and our home," she said. "And we built it from nothing." But by 1991, they were at a crossroads. Vince McMahon, the WWE founder, offered Lou $500,000 a year, nearly $875,000 today, to join his new World Bodybuilding Federation. Lou said no, but just thinking about it showed how desperate things had become. That same year, Lou tried something wild, a comeback. He hadn't competed since 1975. McMahon dangled the richest deal in bodybuilding history. $500,000 annually, more than Arnold ever made. But there was a catch. McMahon demanded all athletes pass drug tests for 3 months straight. Lou didn't like the terms. Instead, he accepted an offer from Joe Weider, $250,000 in cash and another $250,000 in ads. In 1992, at 41, Lou returned to the Mr. Olympia stage. He placed 12th. After 17 years away, that wasn't a loss, it was a resurrection. But Lou Ferrigno's most heroic moment didn't happen in front of a crowd. It happened in 2020, at home. His daughter Shanna was playing near a 1,000-pound air compressor when it suddenly tipped over. In a heartbeat, Lou lunged forward and caught it. He stopped it from crushing her. In the process, he tore his biceps clean off the bone. It sounded like a shirt ripping, Lou said. When he looked down, his arm didn't look like his own. It looked small, deflated, like a child's. The muscle had bunched up into his armpit. It was one of the worst injuries a bodybuilder can face. A torn bicep, clean off the bone. Lou was crushed. His career, his strength, everything was on the line. But help came from an unlikely friend, NFL legend Bubba Smith. He connected Lou with a top surgeon. The very next day, Lou went under the knife. After 6 grueling months of rehab, he was back. He could deadlift 600 pounds again. But now, he wasn't just strong. He was a father who had proven he'd rip his own body apart to protect his child. Then, in the early 90s, something unexpected happened in Hollywood. The Incredible Hulk quietly became Michael Jackson's personal trainer. No press, no gimmicks, just private sessions, because Jackson's doctor said Lou was the only one who could help. Michael couldn't train in public, so Lou came to him, 3 to 4 times a week. But this wasn't about pumping iron. It was flexibility, balance, pain management. Lou designed special workouts using treadmill walks, stretching, and stability balls. Jackson, living on a strict vegetarian diet, sometimes ate just 1 meal a day while prepping for concerts. Lou's job was to keep him stage ready, without breaking him. As time passed, their bond deepened. They spoke about their childhoods, strict fathers, brutal expectations. One was the strongest man on TV. The other, the biggest pop star on earth. One day, Jackson taught Lou how to moonwalk, right there in the gym. Lou called it astronomical. After workouts, Jackson would become a kid again, playing hide and seek with his children. Lou watched as the king of pop turned into Mr. Mom. But Lou's next chapter wasn't in the spotlight. It was in uniform. At 53, he shocked the world, again. He became a real-life cop. Not a TV role. Not for PR. He trained like anyone else. Passed background checks. Earned his firearms certification. Took first aid courses. He became a reserve deputy sheriff in Los Angeles County. And he didn't stop there. Lou also served in San Luis Obispo and Irving, Texas. By 2018, he had worn the badge in 3 jurisdictions. He earned everything. No favors for fame. Just hard work. Just like his father, who had served as a lieutenant with the NYPD. And while fans still saw him as the Hulk, a whole new generation discovered Lou through comedy. Between 2000 and 2007, he played himself in 20 episodes of The King of Queens. But not as the growling green monster. This Lou was funny, warm, and self-deprecating, bantering with Kevin James, poking fun at his fame, and loving every second of it. He once said he related to the show because, in real life, I go through the same thing. Fans who'd never watched The Incredible Hulk fell in love with the big, goofy neighbor next door. In 2012, Lou Ferrigno joined The Celebrity Apprentice, where tensions ran high. After comedian Lisa Lampanelli insulted him and another contestant, Lou snapped, threatening her on live TV. Despite the drama, his team raised $50,000 for charity, and Lou lasted 8 episodes before being fired. 3 years later, he sued his brother Andrew over business name disputes, eventually forcing a rename to Andrew Ferrigno Equipment. Known as the original Hulk from the 1970s TV show, Lou also lent his iconic voice to the Marvel films until 2015, when Marvel stopped using his primal Hulk growls as the character evolved. Off-screen, Lou battled severe hearing loss from childhood, hiding the struggle behind a speech pattern many mistook for an accent. At 69, after resisting for years, he got a cochlear implant that dramatically improved his hearing, calling it a rebirth. But personal troubles followed. In 2023, his wife Carla filed for divorce after 43 years, accusing Lou of controlling and isolating her, especially as she suffered from dementia. Lou denied this but later sued his daughter and sister-in-law for elder abuse, claiming they tried to exploit Carla financially. Carla's filings revealed Lou was openly having an affair and used his imposing size to intimidate her, turning their marriage into a power struggle. Fans who once admired Lou as a symbol of strength now saw a man wrestling with silence, loss, control, and betrayal. Lou Ferrigno's story is no longer just about the Hulk. It's about what happens when the rage leaves the costume and enters real life.